Good evening and welcome to Sporlitics, where sports and politics mix and mingle. I'm Stacey Johnson. Joining me tonight is Stephen, the independent thinker, Keith, the constitutional conservative, and my cousin Todd, if he shows up. We've got a packed show for you this evening. President-elect Trump is scheduled to be sentenced on January 10th. College football. We'll talk a little bit about the Bulls and see where your team may have ended up. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will resign from his post in Canada. NFL playoffs. What happened to the Washington Commanders? Stephen will tell us. January 6th is in the books. There was a peaceful transfer of power. President Biden found 2 federal death row inmates refused his commutations. President-elect Trump aims for a fast action on legislative agenda. And, you know, those Cybertruck explosions and the New Orleans truck attack, we'll talk about those devastating effects and what it meant to Americans. That and more, if we can fit it in. First up, Stephen, what happened with your Washington Commanders and why did Philadelphia Eagles, well, I know why the Philadelphia Eagles won and are in the playoffs, but what happened with your Commanders?
They made it to the playoffs. That's what happened. Nothing matters. They play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend. This is one of the renditions of the old helmet. And when the Washington Redskins come back, they'll probably wear that every now and then. And then I'll bring the next week. I'll have, if they win, I'll have with the man's face on it, the Redskins face. The man whose face was on the side of the Redskins helmet, because that's coming back. Redskins is coming back. They're gonna bring the name back.
It's not the Redskins anymore, Stephen. It's the Commanders.
They're going to bring. I know it's Commanders, but that's temporary. So was when they called it the football team. That was temporary as well. The Commanders is temporary. None of us like that. We like the Redskins. It's been that way. It's going to be that way again. Nobody is against it. The only people that were against it were the woke people, and woke is dead. We put the woke to sleep. So all that's going to leave. Everything that was woke, everything that got changed is coming back now. And one of the things coming back is going to be the Redskins. We're going to make sure of it.
All right.
There's no DEI. There's no DEI. There's no garbage anymore. All of that lost. All of the wokeness lost. All around the world. Up in Canada, in Europe, United States, we all rejected it. So that's right. Yeah. So we get to play Tampa Bay this week. We're a 3-point underdog in Tampa Bay. I think we have a really, really good chance. I'm taking Washington soon to be Washington elect Redskins. They're soon to be the Redskins. So I'm taking them. I think they have a really good chance. Tampa Bay is not a bad team at all, but they're a little depleted on defense, and we're really strong on offense. We got a great offense. They have a good offense, but our defense is coming back. We're getting Lattimore's going to be there, and he's played against Tampa Bay a lot. I'm taking nothing away against Tampa Bay. I'm very humbled just to be here. If we play a good game and we don't get past Tampa Bay, it's been a very successful year. We made the playoffs. I'm happy as can be. Jaden Daniels should get Rookie of the Year. He's been amazing. He's the best thing to happen to Washington in a long time. He's even better than RG3, and he was unbelievable. And RG3 would have been a lot better, but he did get hurt. But this Jaden is almost effortless when he runs, when he throws. He has everything that you need. And he's really a smart guy. It's really just like he's just played football for 50 years or something. It's amazing he's a rookie. And we have a good team all around us. We have your old Ertz. We have him. We have Eckler. We have Terry McLaurin. We have Christian McCaffrey's brother, Luke. We have a solid team. We have a team that can win this game and possibly go and win the next round as well. I am concerned about your Eagles a little bit.
Why
I wore
would you
this
be?
for you. Why would I? Because I'm not sure if Hurts is going to play. I'm not sure if he's through his concussion protocol yet. And if he doesn't play, that's really rough for y'all. You know, Aguna's always complaining about him, but I bet you Aguna would want him playing this game and not sitting out, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
I would ask him.
I don't know. I don't know if Aguna would want him playing or not. I know that I don't want him playing if he has a concussion. I definitely don't want him playing.
No, I definitely don't want him playing with a concussion either.
Yeah, but I think we made a mistake. The Eagles did when they went and played the Washington Commanders. And that's when he got that concussion. They should have sat him out that game and let the, second and third string play. That way he would have been ready to go against Angela's favorite team, the Green Bay Packers. Right?
Right.
So, I mean, how do you see this game against the Green Bay Packers? I see the Eagles winning this game.
Yeah. I do too. The Packers do not impress me very much at all. And Barkley's rested. He didn't play at all the last game. He's ready to roll. I don't see how they stop him. I think y'all are gonna be fine. I might take the 4.5 points with the Packers, but I'm not exactly sure. I might do that. But if Hurts comes back and he's doing well and he's healthy, then I may not take those 4.5 points. Y'all could probably win by a good touchdown or so. I'd be surprised if y'all lost if everybody's healthy.
All right. You want to go on to anything with the college football playoffs? I don't care about any other playoffs in the NFL. Did you want to talk about any other NFL teams in the upcoming playoffs this weekend?
I would love to talk about the disappointment that is Minnesota when they just played the Lions and could not do anything. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, no one can really beat the Lions. I mean, the Lions are a very good team.
Oh, Stacy, they're in the what red zone? They're at first and goal. Minnesota was like, I mean, maybe 4 times, and they have guys wide open, and Sam Darnold threw it 20 feet over their head every time. Like he was paid not to throw it to his guy. He has the best receiver, Jefferson, one of the top 3 receivers. Couldn't get it to him. Couldn't throw it to anybody. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. They should have at least scored 2 touchdowns. Minnesota. They couldn't even score 1. That they have the number 2 offense in the NFC. Does Minnesota, and the Lions' defense was depleted. They had nothing for him, but he could not do anything. So they're going to the Los Angeles Rams. They have a lot of experience there. I'm going with the Rams on that game. I don't have any faith in Minnesota. I don't know what happened to Sam Darnold. Maybe must have drugged him like they did Mike Tyson when he fought Buster Douglas.
Okay. All right. Anything with college football?
I don't have anything. I didn't have my bead on that yet. I know they play. I think it's what is it, Thursday or Saturday, maybe Friday. But I don't have anything on that right now.
Okay,
I should have. If you put it out there, I can tell you. I don't have it in front of me.
Notre Dame, Penn State, Ohio State, Texas. I mean, who do you think? The Orange Bowl, Penn State versus Notre Dame. I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. People are saying, and rarely in college football do you have 2 coaches that have some sort of African-American descent, are from African-American descent. Keith, the Notre Dame coach and the Penn State coach, both are. Those are some big teams. I really don't know who's going to win. I don't want to predict it. I would go with Penn State.
I would too, Stacey. I think Notre Dame.
But Notre Dame, I think Notre Dame playing good.
But I think they're going to choke.
Really good.
When they get in these situations, traditionally Notre Dame will choke. I think they will. I think Penn has got a little bit more.
In that last game.
No, I'm saying when they get in this position, they'll choke. It's too much right now. I think they're going to choke against Penn.
All right.
I would go with. Would you have the point spread in front of you?
No, I don't have the point spread. I
Okay.
don't go by point spread. I don't bet on games, so I don't
Oh
have
no,
a
no,
clue
it'll
about
help you.
point
If
spread.
Penn was favored by 14, then we would all take Penn to win straight up. That's the only reason you look at the point spread. You don't have to bet. You can just get some knowledge from that.
And
But
that's go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I would say, but the Redskins were favored against Dallas the first time they played by 11.5 points, and they lost the game. And I
Right.
was there, and that was really a bitter pill to swallow. But I do like Penn. I would take them. But I like Notre Dame, but not in this spot right here.
Okay, so that's called the Orange Bowl. And then we have the Cotton Bowl, which will be Texas versus Ohio State. What do you think about that? I think Ohio State will take them. I
That's what
don't
I'm
know.
gonna
It's
say.
tough with Texas, but I think Ohio State will take them. And of course, I don't have the spread, Stephen.
I always go against Ohio State. I always go against them,
Really?
but they always win. I can't go against them. I'm gonna go with them this time too because it's just, and I don't want to, but I just think they have a better team. I think they have. I don't know what the spread is either, but they're really really good. I'll take Ohio State on that one.
Me too.
Yeah,
Not
the
even know.
Buckeyes. Those are Buckeyes. They're bad.
Tough. They're tough.
All right. Anything else with sports? Anything coming up with NASCAR? They started practicing again, or are they just out for until like later this year? When do they start again?
February, around Valentine's Day.
Okay.
So it's coming up really, really soon. So less than a month. And they are out there practicing. They're getting everything ready. They're getting all the crews together. And this is their time to get things going. They're in full force right now, getting things in shape.
All right. Thank you. Let's go right into President-elect Trump's sentencing. Let's start with Keith about President-elect Trump's sentencing scheduled for January 9th. Will he be present? Because he has been found guilty by a jury of his peers.
No.
And the judge says he will be sentenced. Keith.
Well, I don't know if he'll be present. I guess he will. He'll be present. But the main thing is that it's not going to go anywhere. Just like everything else. I was reading this article about that. No weapon formed against him has prospered. They have tried everything for all these years, 7 years or plus. And yet they haven't been able to bring him down, and they're still trying. So this guy, Smith, the guy who's, prosecuting him, that guy's going to lose his job. And the judge, hopefully he'll be, he'll be,
where are you getting it from that he's going to lose his job?
Well, I just saw that on a news. I saw it on a one of those breaking news releases. His job is in jeopardy.
He's gonna, meaning that his job is up. I think when President Biden's job is up, and that's why he's leaving. But it isn't like he's losing his job because he did something wrong. He's leaving because it's the end of the term.
Well, either way, if he's out, that's good. That's all the better for the American people, because all he's doing is attacking the American people and our Constitution.
And where are you getting that from, and why are you saying that?
Well, because everything he's done has been proven to be wrong.
Well, all he's doing is doing his job. They told him you have to prosecute. You have to prosecute.
No, I'll let Stephen.
President-elect Trump.
I'm gonna let Stephen take it out. Take up the mantle.
No. I want you to answer it. He has a job, just like you have a job.
Right.
Whether you like to do the duties that are required by your job, guess what? You have a job to do, and you have to do it unless you don't want to get paid and you want to leave and do something else. So it's not about Stephen, it's about you. If you have a job and you have to do the duties, and that's what Jack Smith did.
Well,
I don't see what
the job is bogus. It's bogus when you have a man who was innocent, and Trump was innocent. He was not guilty of all those things.
So if he was innocent and not guilty, how come the jury found him guilty?
They were plotted against him. And the judge.
New York.
And you're getting that from
New York is a very, very liberal state. That's why Aguna's there. I couldn't.
Oh,
That's probably true.
I couldn't resist that one. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Stacy. You don't know this yet. I guess you're gonna find out. I mean, you always are a little bit late to the party. You know,
I'm
I
late to
think
the party.
you're always late to the party. You were still
Mm.
calling it insurrection, even after the FBI said it wasn't an
Yeah,
insurrection.
exactly.
Months later, you are always late to the parties. Stacy, this is called lawfare. This is what they did. They did everything they could to stop or
Where do you get
diminish.
the wait? When you say lawfare,
Yeah, see,
what are
that's
you
what I
talking
mean. You've
about?
never
Where
even
did you
heard of
get the name
lawfare.
lawfare? What are you talking
This is
about? And why
what
do you
this
say
is what they
lawfare?
do. This is what the Soviets do. This is what they've done. They're doing this. This is what communists do. They go after their political opponent any way they can with lawfare. Where they put his
So
people
wait, you're
around him
saying the
in
United
jail.
States is communist?
The people who are running the country right now are 100% solid communist and evil. Yes, they are 100%. Yes, that's why they will do anything. They'll do lawfare. They'll have fake trials. They'll trump up charges like the woman that every day people that are rich, somebody will come to them and say, "Hey, you had sex with me." They said, "I did not." They said, "Well, are you going to make this go away?" "Yeah, here's $1 million. Make it go away." That's what Trump did.
What are
Trump
you
said, "I never
talking
had
about?
sex with her."
You're saying that's what Trump did? He paid somebody $1 million
No,
to make that go away?
no. I'm just taking the figure out. However much it is, this is what happens every day in business. Every day in business,
So I don't
they
understand
go,
what you're
"Okay, I don't
saying.
want to go to trial. I don't want to do this. I'll just give you some money." And she shook him down for some money. He never even
Oh,
had to have sex with her.
wait, stop there.
You're
So how
naive.
can you, let me ask you this. How can you shake someone down for money when they haven't done anything? So for example, let me give you an example. Keith lives in California. I live in Pennsylvania. I can't shake Keith down for money and accuse him of something because first off, we don't live anywhere near each other. We haven't been around each other. How could I go to him and shake him down for money? Answer that, Stephen.
You can say anything about anybody, anytime. You don't have to prove it. They never proved anything that Donald Trump did wrong. How did they go prove that he had sex with her or did not have sex with her? All she has to say is,
So
"We had
I could
sex."
say,
There was no crime,
Keith and I
Stacy.
had sex. Wait, I could say
Stacy.
Keith and I had sex, right?
Yep. And then
And then
you
I
could
could
go to
shake
Keith
him
and say,
down.
Keith, I'm gonna tell your wife, or give me 50,000. He can say, either tell my wife or I'll give you 50,000. It happens every day,
So
Stacy.
Keith, what would you say to that?
That doesn't
I
matter.
would,
It's an
It does
example.
matter. It does
well,
matter. Keith, what
Stephen,
would you say?
I would say what Stephen is saying is absolutely true.
No, Keith,
He's
I'm saying
making a
if
good.
I say to Elizabeth, your wife, "Hey, Elizabeth, Keith and I had sex while you went to work." Or I say,
Well,
"Hey, Keith, I'm going to tell Elizabeth you and I had sex unless you give me $10,000. She doesn't know I
well,
wasn't in
I
California.
would say to
She
my
doesn't know what happened while she was at work.
I would say to my wife, you have to trust me that she was lying. She's lying, and that is not true.
Right.
That's what that's the
So
best I could do.
so if we took it to court,
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't be able to prove it because you would say where you were on this date and time. I would say where I was on this date and time. You'd be able to prove it. Then they'd be able to see where I was. And then it wouldn't be a case.
Well,
Right?
this
It never
not
went to court.
yeah,
It never
right.
went to court.
It did
That
go to
Stacy, it was
court.
Trump. Stacy, it was Trump. What it was trumped up. They're in New York City. The people
It went to
that there
court.
are,
It can't go to court if you don't have any evidence.
there was no. What is the evidence?
I don't know what it is, but it couldn't go to court.
there was
Just like
no
I
What
said
was
evidence.
with
there
me
is
and
no
Keith.
evidence,
No
Me and
Stacy. It
Keith,
evidence.
was
there was
a
evidence,
fake
so it would never
trial.
make it to court.
Yes, it
No
would
evidence.
in a corrupt court. It will with a corrupt attorney general and a corrupt lawyers. It's all corrupt, Stacy. That's all this.
Mhm.
They will do lawfare. They'll even try in the Soviet Union or in Russia now. They will try to kill their opponent, or they will kill their
Okay,
opponent.
but we're
The
not
same
talking
way they
about
tried to kill
Stephen.
Donald Trump.
Stephen, stop. We're not
No,
talking about Russia. We're not
yeah,
talking
we're
about
talking
any
about the
other
United
country.
States. Who's
We're talking about the
our
United
people in
States.
charge are doing the same thing.
And we're talking
Yep.
about we are Americans in the United States, and nothing can go to court unless we have some sort of proof. You can't
No,
go to
you
court with
don't
no
have to have
proof.
proof. No,
You
you don't.
do.
No, they had misdemeanors against Donald Trump, a misdemeanor about in another trial that was fake, and they trumped it up to a felony. They created a felony out of misdemeanors.
You're talking about two different things.
I know,
Okay,
but
you're
all of the
talking
other
about-
trials have petered.
You're
Hey,
talking.
look,
Wait,
all of the
Stephen.
other trials have petered out, Stacey. All
Okay,
of them.
Stephen, you're talking about charges that the prosecution made. I'm talking about before you even get to court, you have to have some sort of evidence to prove what you're saying. And
What
I
did
use
he
the
do
example
wrong?
of me and Keith. Keith and I didn't do anything. We never slept together. We haven't even physically met each other. But if you're based on your premise of trumped up lie charges, I could say that we did, but it wouldn't go to court. You know why? Because I have no proof. I have no evidence.
You could be like the woman that went against the UVA or Virginia Tech, whoever they were. They were to play lacrosse, 3 guys, and she came in and she said that they raped her, and it went to court, and they got convicted, or they didn't get convicted or whatever. But she said that she was raped by them. She's come out recently and said she was lying. Yes, anybody can lie. And that little weasel, the lawyer that Trump had that at the time that went to prison, the little weasel guy, he's the one that handled the whole case with this porn star. He's the one that went in there and gave her some money, came back and told Trump, I gave her some money. Everything he did was everything was above board. Trump did nothing wrong. You have to understand, Stacey, the only reason they're doing this, and they're doing it now on the 10th, is to say for the next 4 years, Donald Trump, the only president that has a felony. It's all BS. Stacey, I've never lied to you. I've never lied to you. What they're doing is what they do in the Soviet Union. This is what Marxist, communists, that's how they stay in power.
Okay, so let me tell you
lied to you. You're just being naive, or
I'm
you're
not being
complicit.
naive. I
Then
know
you're
one
complicit.
thing. No, I know one thing. You cannot go to court without some sort of evidence. You got to
Yes, you
have
can.
some sort of evidence.
Not
I
if
didn't
it's
say
a
the
corrupt
evidence had to
court.
be locked down, you know.
Not if it's a
proof,
corrupt court.
but you
Not
have
if
to
it's
have
corrupt.
some sort of evidence. You have to
Need
have
nothing.
something that shows that what you're saying has some truth to it.
You really believe? What did Donald Trump do wrong?
Okay.
Do you know?
You
Nothing.
have to have
Wait a minute. What did he do wrong? Did he use campaign funds? Did he use this? He did nothing wrong, Stacey.
If he did nothing wrong, he wouldn't be. If he did nothing wrong, he wouldn't have been in court at all.
This is a corrupt court. Yes, Stacey. This happens in this country. We had people in January 6th.
So you're saying,
Steve, wait a minute.
Okay, let's talk about January 6th.
We had people from January 6th in 2020. They've never had their day in court, and they're rotting in jail for 4 years. Is that right, Stacey? No, they're using lawfare against them as well. You're naive to what's going on in this country. The people who are running the show right now are vicious, evil people, and will stop at nothing to stay in power. And I think you're on their side. And eventually,
well,
I believe you have to be.
Okay, let me finish. I'm not on anyone's side.
You have to be.
America's side. No,
right.
I don't have to be. I'm not on anyone's side, but America's side, the Constitution's side, like the constitutional conservative.
There's
on
nothing
the
constitutional
side.
No, you're not.
I am. And for you to say that is like a falsehood.
Evidence. No, it's evidence. It's evident by what you're saying. It's evident by what you're saying.
It's not evident. What I'm saying is I'm not on anyone's side. I'm on the Constitution side. I'm on the United States of America's side. I am an American citizen.
That's where Keith and I are. We know what the truth is.
What happened when you saw the video on January 6th?
They showed you the video they wanted you to see because the media is controlled by the government that is corrupt.
Okay,
the media is corrupt. The government's corrupt.
Stop talking, Stephen. And
they showed you what they wanted you to see. Wait a minute. They used concussion grenades and rubber bullets on people like me and Keith that are just standing there waving flags. No, they incited a riot on purpose because they stole the election. Stacey, you just don't know what you're talking about.
Stephen, I do know what I'm
talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about. And you're going to owe me a big apology. Because this is all I do is January 6th, hon. This is all I do.
For you,
you're gonna owe me a big apology.
And accuse me of not being an American.
No, I didn't say
and
you're
being
not an
against
American. I
the
said you are
Constitution, you
malinformed.
owe me
You are
an
malinformed. I didn't
apology.
say you're not an American. I said you're
Yeah, you did.
malinformed.
And you
You're
said I'm
either
not. I don't believe in the
complicit.
Constitution. You said I'm not on the side of the Constitution.
You can't be if all right,
You
there's
owe me
people
an
for 4 years.
apology just
Stacey,
for
for
saying that.
4 years. Wait a minute. I'll tell you why you're not on the side of the Constitution.
You owe
For
me
4 years,
an
there's
apology.
people from January 6th that have never been to had their day in court. Now, what does the Constitution say about that, Keith? A quick trial, speedy trial. That's what the Constitution says, Stacey. So how does our government go 4 years and not take a guy to court? Stacey, you're not on the side of the Constitution because you don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
This is what you're in my wheelhouse, Stacey. We're not talking about hairdos.
Sorry to disappoint you. I am on the side of the Constitution.
Do you think it's wrong that they've gone 4 years rotting in jail in solitary confinement waiting for a trial? Do you think that's wrong?
Okay, wait a minute. You don't and I don't have in front of us.
Stacey,
let me finish. You're either going to let me finish or I'm going to stop
what else?
you.
What else do you need to know?
I'm letting you finish. You have to let me finish. Now, we don't know because we haven't seen the paperwork for that particular person's detention. They could say they could not have an attorney. The attorney could be fighting something. There could be a lot of things going on that we don't know about for that particular person. So to say that they're riding there and they didn't get a fair trial is not necessarily true. We don't know.
It's 100%. We do know, Stacey. Then nobody goes through that.
Stacey,
nobody goes through that,
Okay.
Stacey.
Let me just say that.
Keith wants to say
let me just
something.
say this that because we're not getting anywhere with this because obviously you're different. You have different opinions. But
it's not an opinion; it's a fact.
Let me say this with Stephen in Stephen's behalf that this is what the Constitution says. It says that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Those January 6 people, many of them, did not get due process of law. They did not have a trial. They just put them in prison. That's it.
Okay.
Right. That's it's worse. It's the worst thing that's happened since the Japanese internment in World War II. Stacey, you're going to owe me an apology because everything that's going on, I swear to God, I promise you, you will.
You owe me
You probably won't apologize, but I swear to God, you will because I'm 100% correct. What they've done is wrong. You will owe me. You owe me an apology. You will.
No,
you will tell me, Stephen. I'm sorry. I don't. Stacey, how can you sit here tonight and say there's any way that somebody could sit there for 4 years and can't go to a court?
We don't know their.
You can't logically say that. Nobody goes through that, Stacey.
We don't know their particular case.
It doesn't matter the particular. Rapists, murderers. Everybody gets their trial.
Well, Stephen,
Stacey, it doesn't happen this way.
We're not going to get anywhere here.
Keith, does it happen this way in America that you wait 4 years before you go to trial? Never.
No.
Stacey, are you ridiculous? You're ridiculous.
But we're not going
to. It never goes this way. Never.
Next subject.
Well, we're going to talk about this subject, but what we're going to do a little different is I wanted to show you. I'm trying to get it on the screen.
She's going to show us what they want us to see. See, look how violent they are. Look how violent they are. They were fighting back. The only people that died were Trump supporters that day. No cops died that day. I don't care what anybody says. It's the truth.
Well, the cops died the next day.
Nobody didn't die. No, he didn't. Nobody died from anything that happened on January 6th. No cop died from anything that happened on January 6th. It's a lie.
Cops didn't die.
I bet you $100,000. It's $100,000.
Okay, so what it did was
the Patriots died, Stacey.
No, that's not true.
I'll put my house up to your car. I'll bet my house to your car. I swear to God.
Yeah,
you're wrong, Stacey.
That's fine.
You're wrong, Stacey. That's how confident I am.
I'm not wrong.
I swear to God, you are. You're 100% wrong.
But I want to play this and I want to share this screen because these people doing this is not constitutional. It's not right.
They were hit with rubber bullets and concussion grenades. I've seen that video.
Why would they be hit
because the cops wanted to instigate it. They wanted to instigate it. And there were a bunch of feds. There were a bunch of feds mixed up there with them. The feds are going, go get them. Get in there. The feds. Right. It's our federal government.
Fuck you, police! We're still taking metal, sharpened objects, missiles, to include bottles and rocks, and hand-thrown chemical-grade fireworks.
You hear that?
It's a lie.
All that's a lie?
Yes, it's a lie, Stacey. You're going to owe me an apology.
All that is a lie. Somebody made all that up.
No, I didn't say nobody made it up. I'm saying look, the cops are fighting them.
Effectively a riot.
1349 hours declaring it a riot.
Look at that.
No,
Look at that.
that's Antifa and the FBI and the CIA.
Look at that.
Yep.
Right, on the other side of the building, they were letting them in, Stacey.
Okay, guys.
Steven's right. How about that?
Apparently,
He's right.
the
Stacey.
tip of the spear has entered the Capitol building.
Look at that. Running out of the Capitol. Why would anyone do that? Why would anyone go into the Capitol like that? Why can they do like a Genesis? Just stop and get a visitor's pass.
They allowed him in. They let him in.
They didn't let them in. You saw them knock the windows out.
Well, those were not the
They
Patriots.
weren't MAGA people.
Look at that.
If I keep this up, they're going to have direct access. At least this country to defend.
You're being played, Stacey.
The
fuck? Take your pins off.
We're not going to get anywhere with this one.
He said it's a corrupt government.
You're being played, Stacey.
Look at that. He says a
You're being
corrupt
played.
government. I'm just showing you what the video shows.
You're being played.
Where the fuck are they? Cruiser 50 has blanked. 1033. I repeat, 1033. West front of the Capitol. We've been pranked and we've lost our lives.
Look at that.
Okay. So I got here. It says the truth is that the officers that died committed suicide, and that was they were not killed by MAGA people. But officers did kill MAGA people. There was one officer who shot Ashley Babbitt or whatever her name was, and
Ashley Babbitt, yeah. Shot an unarmed woman, Stacey. That's what they did. It was a setup, Stacey, because they stole the election. They had to do it. Can I tell you this, Stacey? Congress was voting for a 10-day hold because all of this swing states were in question. So Congress had a 10-day hold, and they were going to vote on a 10-day hold to reassess the election. Was what they were going to do. They had to do this to say, all right, now we have to certify the election. Donald Trump asked for 10 to 15,000 National Guard. Nancy Pelosi wouldn't let him because it was a trap, Stacey. But why wouldn't she let extra guards be there, Stacey? Because it was a trap. And a lot of the federal government and a lot of the cops there from the Washington, D.C. cops and a lot of the Capitol Police cops, they were involved in it to incite the riot, to incite people and hit them and fight them. So they're fighting back. That's what they did. They didn't go in there and initiate any fights. Nobody went there to fight. Okay. You're being played.
Okay, I wasn't being played.
You are.
Showed you what happened on January.
That's not what happened. That's not the whole thing. That's this much. That's this much, Stacey. On the other side of the building, they opened the doors wide and let everybody in. People were in there for 30 seconds, and they're doing 5 years in jail for 30 seconds.
They had no business in there. All they had to do.
Yes, they do. The public has a right to go in there.
Luna said is get a visitor's pass, but
public has a right to go in there. Hey, you know what? They were doing another vote, and they let all the lesbians and people come in, and they didn't arrest them, Stacey.
All right, now this is January 6, 2025.
The result of the ascertainment and counting of the electoral vote for President and Vice President of the United States for the term beginning on the 20th day of January, 2025.
The state of the vote for the President of the United States as delivered to the President of the Senate is as follows. The whole number of the electors appointed to vote for President of the United States is 538. Within that whole number, the majority is 270. The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris.
Oh, you're awful quiet now, Stephen.
What do you mean, Stacy?
I don't know why you're so quiet right now.
I'm checking my heart rate. That's why I'm quiet. What do you mean? What do you mean? Why am I quiet? Because this loser's talking.
California has received 226 votes.
Donald Trump said, go peacefully and patriotically and let your voice be heard. Everything he said was erased by the media that's run by the government.
Appointed to vote for Vice President of the United States is 538. Within that whole number, a majority is 270. The votes for Vice President of the United States are as follows. J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio has received 312 votes. Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota has received 226 votes. This announcement of the state of the vote by the President of the Senate shall be deemed a sufficient declaration of the persons elected, President and Vice President of the United States, each for a term beginning on the 20th day of January 2025, and shall be entered together with the list of the votes on the journals of the House and the Senate. Thank you very much.
That is what the peaceful transfer of power looks like.
Wow. Yeah, we had it as well last time.
You gotta stop interrupting me.
We had it last time. It was peaceful.
Stephen, you got to stop interrupting me.
Ask me what happened in 2016, Stacey, when Donald Trump won. They burned a damn church.
Okay, I just told you to stop interrupting.
Talk about the church.
You got to stop interrupting me, Stephen. I have to be able to say something just like you're able to say something. So
pathetic.
I get to say something just like you get to say something.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
That is a peaceful transfer of power. Now,
okay, what happened in 2016 when Donald Trump won and he had to go down to the nuclear bunker for safety and they tried to burn a church down, Stacey?
This is what it
This is nothing compared to that.
With the insurrection. That is not a
That is not an insurrection, Stacey. Still today you're calling it an insurrection. What is wrong with you?
That is
nobody thinks it's an insurrection.
That's not
nobody thinks it's an insurrection. What?
Stephen, look at that. Look how they're
that is the FBI, Stacey.
Look at that.
That's not a Trumper.
Look at
Trump
that.
people don't act like that, Stacey. Your people act like that. Your people act like that.
They're not
us.
People.
They are your people. Then you tell me what happened in 2016 when they tried to burn the church down and Donald Trump had to go in the nuclear bunker.
Excuse me.
What happened? Did you forget? Did you forget?
Stephen,
did you show me what happened in 2016? You want to make something of 20. You want to make something this big.
Transfer of power. It's not
right. What happened in 2016? Was that peaceful?
Stephen,
you don't want to talk about that. You have an amnesia, Stacey?
Stephen,
do you have amnesia? Why can't we talk about it? Why can't we talk about 2016?
You gotta let me finish.
When they tried to kill Trump.
Let's let her finish her point, and we can move on.
Her point is that was peaceful. 2020 wasn't peaceful. What the hell else does she have to say? So I'm saying, let's go to 2016. Let's go to 2016. What happened then? She ain't said a word about that.
Stephen,
nothing. Because she got amnesia.
Stephen, I'm going to talk now. Just like you were quiet as a church mouse when I showed the peaceful transfer of power that happened, what? Yesterday.
It happened because they didn't steal the election. They didn't. It was peaceful because nobody was out there inciting a riot against the left people that were out there. Nobody. They incited the riot. The cops incited that riot, and the FBI that is on the left. Yeah, Stacey. That's what happened, Stacey.
But
that's what there was hundreds of people in the crowd that were not Trump people that were instigating. You don't know any of this, Stacey? This is what I've done. I'll show you the videos. I've shown you the videos. But you're on that side. You're sister to Kamala. You and Kamala are sisters. What do you call them? She's your Soros sister. So you're all about Kamala.
No,
don't tell me you don't have a side because you're not telling the truth.
I am telling the truth.
You are not. Then why don't we talk about 2016 when they tried to burn down a church?
I let you finish.
When 250 cops got their ass beat on 2016, Stacey, why don't you mention that?
Okay, I'll let you finish. See how you just
why don't you mention that?
Just see how he just finished talking. I let him talk.
You're just one way. You're one.
Guess what? No, I let you talk and say your point. Now, you didn't say what I wanted you to say. You said what you wanted to say. And I say what I want to say. Okay, Stephen? I'm going to say what I want to say, and it may not be what you want to hear. But it is the truth. And you don't know the truth, Stephen, if it came up and pulled your beard. Good. I'm glad you're not talking.
Oh, you had me on mute. You had me on mute. That's why I didn't talk. Why? How come I can't put you on mute? You said I wouldn't know the truth.
If it
you believe I don't know the truth?
If it pulled your white beard just right down here, you wouldn't know the truth.
I don't know the truth.
No, you don't know.
Stacey, hey, publicly, Stacey, I'll show you January 6th once we get the power. No, I'll show you how wrong you are. Bet me $20,000 publicly. I'll bet you. I swear to God, I'll put my hand up. Bet me $20. You're 100. You don't know the truth if it fits on your ass. Steven, don't tell me I don't know the truth. I know what the hell I'm talking about. So I told you, you're in my wheelhouse. January 6th is what pisses me off the most. Don't tell me I don't know the truth because I do. I know our country is corrupt. I guess you're a part of it. You're complacent or whatever.
I am definitely not a part
I don't know what it is.
Corrupt country.
You are. This is very corrupt. This is Your guys tried to kill Donald Trump. Your side tried to kill Donald Trump. That's what the communists did.
My side would never do anything like that.
Oh, yes, your side did. Yes, your side did. Twice.
Never.
Yes, they did. There was no way that shooter could have been on that building if your side didn't want him to be there.
Never. That's not my side. I'm on the side of the American people. Keith, did you want to say something? Because Stephen doesn't even let you say anything.
No, I just wanted to say maybe we should move on because it doesn't seem like we'll resolve this.
She's going to owe me an apology. I'll bet you 20. What do you want to bet? $100,000, States? I'll bet you anything you've got. Bet me. You won't bet me because you know you're full of crap.
No,
I'm standing here telling the truth. You told me I'm full of crap. I said I know what the truth is. I'm willing to bet everything I have against what you're saying to me. What are you willing to bet? Nothing, because you know you're full of crap.
I don't.
You know you're full of crap. No, you know you're full of crap, Stacey.
Let's move to the next.
I'm going to move on, and I can't believe Keith wants to move on. Let me move on.
Well, we're not going to solve this. We'll spend the whole time on this subject, and it just goes back and forth. It's not going to work.
Oh, wow. Now you get it.
Out of Canada to tell you about just last hour, Justin Trudeau announced he is stepping down both as prime minister and as leader of the country's ruling Liberal Party.
Now, Trudeau has been in power for nearly a decade, but recently he's become widely unpopular. He's even faced growing calls to resign, including from members within his own party. Earlier today, Trudeau told reporters he plans to step aside once the party chooses a new leader.
I have always been driven by my love for Canada, by my desire to serve Canadians, and by what is in the best interest of Canadians. And Canadians deserve a real choice in the next election. And it has become obvious to me with the internal battles, that I cannot be the one to carry the liberal standard into the next election.
NBC News correspondent Rahema Ellis is following this breaking news for us. Rahema, this is interesting. He talks about internal battles. He references a new leader.
We don't
My
need
best friend is
them to
Canadian.
talk
We were
about it.
texting about
We
this
could
this
talk
morning.
about
She
that.
was less.
We
Yeah,
can
you
talk
know,
about that.
I
Why
noticed
do you
something.
think Prime Minister Justin Trudeau stepped down? You know, it kind of reminded me of Biden stepping aside so that Vice President Harris could run. Do you think it's a similar type of discontent that's going on among his party in that country?
Stacey,
He-
that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. You know, what's happened here is obvious. You know, Trudeau, he said in his statement that those within his own party don't want him to carry the liberal standard. So, in other words, progressivism. And people are tired of it. And when Trump came in, they are encouraged to go back to some common sense of governing. And that means governing for the people, you know? And so that's what's happening. We're seeing a movement here. We're seeing a miracle of God. This is God's grace. He's moving in, and people are tired of this old progressive socialist type of way to go. And
Okay,
that's what's happening.
Stephen.
That's what's happening.
How can you compare it to Joe Biden stepping down, making way for Harris? He's not stepping down, making way for anybody. He's totally corrupt. He's a horrible. Canada's in worse shape for the 9 years that he's been there. He's a horrible human being, socialist, communist. The same thing we have running this country. Biden was nothing but a figurehead. He didn't run anything. Harris didn't run anything. The people that are running this stuff is the people that were with Obama. The same people are in the White House running everything right now. And they are totally corrupt, and they hate this country, and they do anything they can to tear this country down, to make it completely a crap hole, so they can, because it's a global thing is what they're doing, so they can take over the world. They don't care about this country. The people that are in charge right now do not care about this country. If they did, Stacey, they wouldn't let millions of people unvetted come through our border. That destroys countries. Everything they've done in this country is to destroy this country. What he's doing, he don't care about Canada. It's destroying Canada. And remember when the truckers were saying, we're going to go do our thing and we're going to go protest. When they did that, they shut down their bank accounts. That's what the dictators do, the communist dictators do. This is what this is what the whole country, all of us people, that we the people all around the world are saying, we reject y'all now. We reject the Obama's system, we reject Trudeau's system, we reject France's system. All of these systems we're rejecting because they hurt the people. You said, Stacey, you care about the people. You can't, because everything you are for hurts the people. You're not for the people.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that's the truth.
Now, that's not the truth. That's your opinion.
No, it's the truth, because everything you say,
you got to stop, Stephen. I let you talk and I didn't interrupt you. You've got to stop now.
I'm not talking.
Okay. First off, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just talking about your opinion, which is fine. That's what
It's not an opinion.
Talk about
It's
your
fact.
opinion. Everything you
Facts.
just said was your opinion. You based it on no fact.
It's
Second,
facts.
you accuse me of something that is not true. And you're wrong, as usual.
I'm not wrong. No, I haven't been wrong once on this show, Stacey.
Stop talking over me. I'd let you talk. You
Go
spew
ahead.
all sorts of crazy stuff for
Very
the last
crazy.
30 seconds, and I didn't say a word. So this is my opportunity to respond. And my response is, you are incorrect. You did not support any of your statements with pure fact.
I did. I said he shut down their bank accounts. Trudeau shut down their bank accounts. Is that a fact, Stacey?
Talking.
No, don't tell me I didn't support what I said, because I did. I said he shut down their bank accounts. Did I support what I said?
Did I talk over you?
Did I? No, you're lying about me. You said I didn't support something. I'm gonna stand up. No,
Stephen, no, you lied about
me. You can't say that about me.
You lied about me, but I didn't.
I didn't lie.
You did lie.
I didn't lie. I did not lie about you.
You lied about me, and I didn't talk over you. I allowed you to spew those lies about my character, and I didn't talk over you. So
I didn't lie about your character. It's based on everything you said.
You've got to
Next
stop
subject.
it. You can't go to the
Based
next
on
subject because I can't allow him to get away with lying and
It's
impugning my
based on everything. I haven't lied once, Stacey. I didn't know. I didn't lie one time. It's based on everything you
I
said.
can't let you do that. Now,
I
I'm going
didn't
to
lie.
say everything you said was not the truth.
What do you mean?
You
That
said
he didn't shut down their bank accounts, that Trudeau didn't shut down the truckers' bank accounts? Is that a lie, Stacey? You said everything I said was not the truth.
Let me move on.
You can't answer it.
I'm not going to waste my time.
I know, because you don't care about the truth.
This may be disturbing.
Here's ABC's Lionel Moise.
This morning, the careful work of gathering evidence continues just over 24 hours after carnage on New Orleans' most famous street. New video shows the speed of the pickup truck that plowed into people, killing at least 15 and injuring many more.
We have dozens of people that got hit by this car.
Surveillance video shows the truck flying an ISIS flag coming down Canal Street around 3:15 a.m. before turning onto Bourbon and speeding into the crowd.
We ran one way, so like about 5 feet away from the curb, and we ran into the bar to be protected by the little divot.
Authorities identifying the suspect as 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar, a U.S.-born citizen and Army veteran from Texas, who they say was inspired by ISIS to kill. They say he was speeding down Bourbon wearing body armor and firing an AR-style rifle out of the truck, racing about 3 blocks before crashing, stepping out and opening fire again, wounding 2 police officers. Inside that rented Ford F-150, authorities say they found multiple homemade pipe bombs packed with nails. Sources tell ABC News on that flagpole is a black flag bearing the ISIS insignia. A fire at an Airbnb near Bourbon Street yesterday morning is now reportedly being linked to Jabbar. Officials say it appears explosive devices associated with the attack were made at that property. Officials say steel bollards installed on the street were unreliable and were in the process of being replaced ahead of the Super Bowl in February. Vehicles had been placed as blockades, but there were gaps.
We had barriers there, we had officers there, and they still got around. So we did indeed have a plan, but the terrorists defeated it.
City officials say they questioned the construction timeline, wondering why the replacement didn't happen months ago.
This construction should have happened much earlier, and everything really should have been ready and in place, fixed, repaired, ready to go now.
Lionel Moise, ABC News, New York.
This.
Okay, so let me show this. This will be a part of our roundtable. Hold on, please. I'm queuing it up.
The New Year's Day Cybertruck blast outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. This morning, we're hearing from the ex-girlfriend of the Green Beret identified as the driver. Mola Lenghi joins us with that story. Good morning, Mola.
Well, good morning, Rebecca. Yeah, as authorities investigate that Cybertruck explosion in Las Vegas this morning, we're hearing from someone who was in contact with Matthew Livelsberger through his final days.
I failed him. We all failed him.
The ex-girlfriend of Matthew Livelsberger, the man who carried out the Las Vegas blast in front of the Trump Hotel, opening up about their final messages. Alicia Arrett hadn't heard from her ex-boyfriend, Livelsberger, a decorated U.S. Army Special Forces soldier, in over 2 years, when she says he started texting her on December 27th out of the blue, asking how she was.
He was just checking up on me.
What began as casual messages quickly became the last words she would ever exchange with him. The Master Sergeant served in the U.S. Army for almost 20 years. He was even featured on the History Channel series Ultimate Soldier Challenge in 2013.
We're going to go full out just like we've done the entire challenge.
In 2018, when Arrett and Livelsberger were dating, he started to open up about the struggles he was facing. At one point, texting, "I have been spiraling down the last week or so. Sometimes I get so hopeless and depressed, by far the worst of my life."
He was really open about the trauma he faced, and the teammates he lost.
On December 29th, Livelsberger sent pictures of the Cybertruck he rented.
He sent some front views and he shared he felt like he was Batman or Halo.
It wasn't until 2 days later, when the FBI contacted Eric, that she found out what happened in Las Vegas.
They started to show me a video of him in the Cybertruck. My whole heart broke for him. That he was so broken that he got to that place.
Eric is still struggling with why Livelsberger would take his own life.
He didn't say anything explicit that would have triggered it, I guess.
On his nearly 20 years of military service, Livelsberger saw multiple combat deployments. The FBI describing the incident in Las Vegas as a tragic case of suicide by a highly decorated service member struggling with PTSD and other issues, guys.
Sad.
That is sad beyond belief. This is our roundtable discussion, starting with Keith, then Stephen. Terrorist attacks on American soil, both in New Orleans and Las Vegas, by American citizens. Keith, you're muted, Keith. You muted yourself. I can't unmute you. Okay.
Yeah, the only thing I can say to all that is what I've been saying for years, is that, and why I offer training. But people need to be trained. American people, this is part of our civic duty. Our responsibility is to preserve life, liberty, and property. That is a civic duty of Americans. And that is based on our Declaration of Independence, the laws of nature. We should not do harm to anybody. And so people that do harm to people need to be checked, need to be stopped. And it's not just the government or police that are going to stop them. Every individual, every American. That's why we have a Second Amendment. Every American should exercise, and be aware, because situationally aware of their surroundings, and be ready to exercise their right to self-defense. I keep saying it, I'm going to keep saying it again. So that's what that is. Now, that, especially on that guy who drove the truck, through, killing people or hitting them with the truck. I just wanted to say, he had a gun, and he was firing at people while he was driving through them. So why not have someone who could respond to him? They should have blown him away. So anyway, that's my opinion.
Okay, thank you. Stephen.
The guy with the truck running through people has happened recently a few times. When one in Germany, one somewhere else. It's bizarre. There's not much you can do to stop it. They said they should have had barriers up, but they were redoing everything, getting it ready for the Super Bowl that's going to be there.
They should have been armed with their gun. They should have had a gun.
They're probably not allowed to have guns in New Orleans right there.
That's my point.
But they could have had barriers up that they had taken them down, and the truck wouldn't have made it by there. And they should have had it set up, had it more of a safe area to start with, and they didn't, because they were getting things ready. Well, this I had a friend of mine that said on New Year's Eve, he said something's going to happen tonight. It might happen in New York. I don't know where it's going to happen, but I think something's going to happen, because you just feel it. Something's coming. So I guess that was one thing that happened, and it was pretty huge. And if you have no barriers, you just have, anybody could have done it, and anybody could have done it and went back up and down the road a few times. I don't know, but it's horrible. I mean, it's just horrible for the people. It's just horrible. It never should happen, but it's hard to stop that. But this Tesla thing is kind of really weird. It's all way too Hollywood for me. It's the Trump Tower. It's an Elon Musk vehicle. It's almost like a warning. You better chill. Better watch out here. We're gonna send you a little warning, a little something. You better act straight, because something's really too weird. His girlfriend or whatever, she's too much. He was on a video, or did a I don't know, what do you call them, shows, a reality show or whatever he was doing. It's all way too Hollywood. And I'm not sure. I don't know if anybody's seen proof. I don't know. I haven't. Maybe somebody has. I'm not even sure that anybody was driving that truck at the time. He might not even have been in it. I don't even know. And it blew up, but it didn't blow up enough to really cause any serious damage. It's just like it's sending a little bit of a message. That's what I get out of that. because that's just really ridiculous. Oh, I'm in my Elon Musk car and I'm gonna go up to the Trump Tower and I'm gonna blow it up. It's a little too convenient for me. But you know, I guess that's just how my mind works. But I don't know. It seems kind of funky to me. But the first thing is a tragedy. This second thing is just, it's Hollywood. And Hollywood's controlled by, a lot of it's controlled by our government as well. If anybody didn't know, it's been that way since the 60s or 50s or something. They make sure content goes the way they want it to go.
All right.
It's all corrupt. It's all corrupt, Stacey, and it's all going to come out.
Okay. I don't know if that's true. I'm having some technical difficulties getting back to our screen. Let me see if I can do it. Getting back to the screen with all of us. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. My heart and my thoughts and my prayers go out to the wounded, innocent victims who were just, you know, doing whatever they were doing in their lives and had no idea that was about to happen to them and their families who are missing them in Las Vegas and in New Orleans, especially New Orleans. In Vegas, unfortunately, people were just, fortunately, people were just hurt, but they weren't killed in Vegas. Fortunately, people were harmed, but not killed in Vegas. But in Las Vegas, they were killed, and my thoughts and prayers go out to their family. These were American citizens who performed terroristic acts against fellow American citizens on American soil. It's a horrible thing. It should never happen. We have to find a way to help those who have some mental health problems in society, especially when they are connected to our U.S. military. We've got to find a way to help them. We have to make it okay for them to be able to reach out for help so that they can get the support they need to prevent these type of tragedies from happening.
Yeah, one of the ways to help is to go back to our founding principles and teach all the way from kindergarten all the way to college. We need to have an education system that teaches civic responsibility, because that is the check on human nature. Human nature is corrupt. That's the basic bottom line. The founders knew that, and that's why Madison put that Constitution. He said that the Constitution would limit government because people were corrupt, and that's why government was limited. So just imagine what the average citizen who is untrained or has no education whatsoever in the founding principles, that person will become anti-American, and that's what we have. That's what Stephen's been ranting about. I love it. I'm with Stephen on that. I'm not as
You're with
emotional.
Stephen on everything.
Hey,
No,
Keith, you think we have
I'm just not as emotional. I check
Keith,
myself.
do you think we have a limited government right now, Keith?
We have it on paper, but no.
We do not have a limited government. We have a government that's run roughshots over its people. We have a government that has been used to weaponize to go against its people. That's what the left does. That's what the left does.
I mean, I'm not a left person, but I'm a human being. I'm an American citizen, and I'm a person that believes in humans. I'm a Christian. I'm an American. So to say one side against the other is not a complete picture. It's not a good picture. We're Americans first, regardless of what our beliefs are politically.
Right, but not everybody believes that. That's what Stephen's saying.
Right. It's not politics. It's not political. You got a group that wants to stay in power, Stacey.
Right.
It's not Democrats or Republican. It's not one side or the other. You just have a group right now as a whole that wants to stay in power no matter what it takes. That's why they took Trump to court 4 times. That was bogus. That's why they tried to put him out a couple times. That's why they did everything they've done. That's why they tried to keep him off the ballot. That's what they do in other countries that are communists. That's what they do to their political opponent. And they take the people around them that are innocent and put them in prison too. Stacey, this is what's happened in our country.
Okay.
And this is all coming out. Stacey, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this real quick. Why would they want pardons for people who have not been charged with anything like Liz Cheney because she's guilty? Why would they want a pardon if they haven't even been charged or taken to court or found guilty? Well, you're interrupting me, Stacey. I'm making a point that you don't want me to put out there.
No, you can make any point. I have not.
I did. I was making a point and you interrupted me. I don't have a mute button for you.
I have let
I was
you
making a
talk.
good point. Why do they want a pardon for Liz Cheney if she's never been taken to trial, been convicted of anything? Because she's guilty as hell. Because that January 6th committee, they're all guilty and they all should go to prison. Because that was a sham committee.
I have allowed you to talk, Stephen.
You owe me an
I didn't
apology when
stop
this is
you.
all over.
You owe me
After
an
after
apology.
you find out everything, after you find
owe
the truth, you're going to owe me an apology.
You
And then
owe me an
$20,000 if you're willing to bet me.
I'm not betting you one dime.
I know you won't because you're not sure what
an
you're talking about. I'm 100% sure. I'll bet you $50,000 today in public, in front of everybody. I'll bet you $50,000 I'm right about January 6th, and you're 100% wrong. I'll bet you $100,000.
Your lighting needs to be lighter. You're too dark. You can hardly see you. That's first. Second, you have to let me finish talking. If you don't let
You didn't let me finish talking. I was talking. You didn't let me finish talking. No, I was talking and you interrupted me. You interrupted me, Stacey. Yes, you did. As I was talking about Liz Cheney the first time, you went, I was like, no, I'm not done talking. I can't mute you.
No.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's actually what happened, Stacey.
In our community, you make our lives livable. Thank you. Oh, to the women and men of the U.S. military for all that you do in sacrificing your lives so that we are free to say whatever we choose on this show. We are forever indebted. On behalf of Aguna, the Nigerian moderate Republican, or the voice of reason, who is not here with us today, Stephen,
the voice of reason,
independent thinker, Keith, the constitutional conservative, and my cousin Todd, who's not here. I'm Stacey Johnson. Let's keep this conversation going at Sporlitics.com on TikTok. Check us out on Twitch. Check us out at Sporlitics on Instagram. Check us out at Sporlitics, where sports and politics mix and matter since 2011 on the Flow Television Network with Stephanie Stallworth. Check us out, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Sporlitics, or Sports and Politics Mix and Mingle since 2011. We'll see you next week. We're glad to be back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We love America. Good night.
Boy, you guys are passionate. You guys are really passionate tonight.
That's my thing is January 6th. It's the biggest injustice in this country since the internment of the Japanese since World War II. Right. And I don't say that lightly. That is the worst thing that they've done. But there's people that are complicit. They don't care. They're like, we hate Donald Trump so much. We don't care what happens to him or supporters. I've had people that say they don't care if they kill Donald Trump. They didn't care about that.
I think Trump is going to let them all out too. I hope he does. I hope
he lets them all out. It's awful, Keith. It's awful. Yeah. How do you can go with the guys that were trespassing and have been waiting 4 years to get their day in court? Stacey can say that's cool. How can that be cool? It's not cool.
Didn't stop, but I was having some technical difficulties. Stephen, I'm going to address you right now.
Address me.
Hey, look, I'm going to excuse myself. I'm going to let you guys go.
No, stay right here, and then we're all going to go. Stay right here, Keith, and then we're all going to go. Stephen, you can't just accuse me of lying and being wrong without any facts. You can't cut me off without letting me stop. I allow you to talk, and everything you're saying is your opinion. It's
not my opinion.
Necessarily a fact, and you do not have substantial proof to show that these things that you're saying are true. So
I did.
I think you're trying to impugn my character. I don't like it.
I think you're trying to impugn my character. I think you're trying to impugn my character.
No, I allow you to say whatever you choose to say, but I don't agree with it. It's as simple as that. And it doesn't make me wrong, and it doesn't make me not American, and it doesn't make me pick one side or the other. I'm an American.
Stacey,
I'm always
answer one question. How have you ever heard somebody going 4 years without getting their day in court? No, you haven't.
You don't know the particulars of the case.
It doesn't matter the particulars, Stacey. That's ridiculous.
It does matter. All right,
it does not matter.
Good night.
Oh my God.